Okay, you're live. Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order the Rocky Hill Public Building Commission meeting of December 14th at 5:32 p.m. First item on the agenda, second item actually, is the approval of the draft minutes from our November 9th meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Sal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Steve. We'll do a roll call vote here. Yay or nay, please. Let's go with Tom.
Yay.
Well, I guess actually, no, I should have asked for a discussion first. My apologies. Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, no discussion. Tom is a yay. Let's go to Sal.
Yay.
Steve.
Yay.
And that is it. I'm not sure if anybody else is jumping on. So minutes are approved. Next item, public comment. I've been told we don't have anybody lined up for public comment at this point. So we'll move on to item number 4, which is our Community Senior Center project. Discussions and updates from our owner's rep, Colliers. Go ahead, Matt.
Evening, guys. So generally speaking, the project's been moving along well. PAC is making some good progress. We'll hit schedule next. Just start off with budget update. Overall, budget is looking in a good place. We all of our accounted for budget line items are as projected. We're tracking the contingency. There's a few items on there that we're working through with the design team and PAC. Some items under review. We also have the one change order that we'll get to on the agenda tonight. You know, we're in good shape at the moment. From a schedule standpoint, PAC's most recent schedule is showing a construction completion mid-June, so a little bit later than we had originally planned for, but in line with what they've been showing for the last couple months. And pending a couple items, we're working diligently with Paul and his team to find opportunities to bring that back. We've got some more detailed review with them coming up in the next several weeks, and we should have an update on that in the next meeting. But I'll hand it over to Paul at this point, maybe to give a little bit more detail as to what's been going on the last month on the site and what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, so just a quick update. Really the main goal for the past couple of weeks was to get the building tight. So we do have our temp protection up. The roof is about 85% complete, so it's pending miscellaneous detailing work, but we are tight at the moment. Roof drains have been temped in. We're permanently tied in at this point, so we are not taking on water. Mechanical roughs will follow with that. We're in pretty good shape right now. The design team on the coordination, so everything's pretty good there. Interior framing, we're about 90% complete. We got the smaller, more intricate systems to go with some blocking details, but for the most part, we're in pretty good shape there. Installation of exterior walls, it's scheduled to start on Wednesday, so we'll start the spray foam there. Inspections are set up for tomorrow, so again, we're in good shape there. Temp heat is running with everything temped in, approved by the fire marshal. Everyone's on board. So we are pumping heat into the building. We do have 2 thermostats set up, 1 for each unit in select locations. So we're ahead of the game there. And our first delivery of drywall is scheduled for this week. Building departments worked with us there, and they have given us permission on one side. So again, we'll get a little bit ahead there as well. On the exterior of the building, the brick veneer is ongoing, as I'm sure most of you have seen. Exterior soffits are scheduled to begin this week. They were starting to wrap their heads around it last week. And you'll also see the rain screens start going up this week. So all in all, like Matt had mentioned, we're pushing where we can and trying to make up whatever time we can.
Sounds good, Paul. I appreciate it. Anybody have any questions for Paul or Matt at this point?
Paul, how are you going to handle Wednesday, Thursday? You still expect people to come in with the storm?
Wednesday, yes. Thursday is going to be a little slow, but we do have the guys lined up to get the site cleaned up. So it's just a matter of if guys can actually make it there.
Yeah. Because I'm not sure what the parking lots will be, what shape they'll be in. So,
Yep.
But you'll take care of that within the fence?
Yeah, it's understood on our end. We'll do everything we can. I know Kyle's planning on getting there early, but he'll address whatever he can with the guys on site.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and Matt kind of touched upon the budget a little bit, but something that we talked about after our change order meeting on Thursday is that we're getting close as far as our contingency dollars, what we think we have left over. So things are starting to get a little tight, but I think we do have some room there. So we just got to make sure we monitor that and any potential upcoming costs. But as we've come out of the ground and gone through the existing building and uncovered stuff, I think we're past the hump there. But so we're getting pretty tight. I think we're probably, Matt, what were you saying? We're probably anticipate having about 150 left over right now at this point, remaining. That's not accounted for or budgeted at this point.
Yeah, a little bit more than that, actually, but yeah, roughly there. That's what we've got outside of encumbered items.
So we may not be able to do some of those things that are want items that are on the list from certain departments, but we'll definitely got to keep an eye on it. And obviously we were spoiled with our intermediate school project where we had about $1 million left over. So just keep an eye on that and go from there. So anybody else have anything for Matt? Were you all set?
No, but I have something for Paul. Hey, Paul, you've got a couple of items listed there that are going to start in January. Exterior concrete sidewalks on your schedule. Sidewalks, brick inlays, etc.
Yeah, I mean, Sal, that was really a wish list
Yeah.
after a fairly light winter last year, but we fully expect those to push out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see it personally pushed. One, it gets, a lot more activity around the building without damaging it. And two, for weather obvious reasons. And I think, unfortunately, you're right. I think we're going to get as lucky as last year, unfortunately.
Yep.
The other thing, could you elaborate a little more on your rough-in? Because I'm looking at the requisition a little bit, and you've got a decent amount just on the rough-in line items for costing. And when you talk about rough-in, are you talking about interior rough-in? Are you talking strictly exterior rough-in, or all as encompassing?
No, it's a little bit of both. We are pushing everybody to get the exterior walls, like I mentioned, to be fully inspected by tomorrow, end of the day tomorrow. So a little bit of that is what you see. We're also roughing in the bathrooms if you're looking at the plumbing line items. So the hangers are up. We're also starting to, like I mentioned, rough in the roof drains. So we're running that cast pipe. We're tying in everything we can. We're running conduit for electrical. We even have ductwork on site. So we are pushing the rough-ins.
Can you just make sure, now that we're getting very close to the 50% mark, and your 50%, approximately it's showing 50% on your schedule completion too, take a little closer look at some of this stuff for next month if you could. I don't want to see us get too far ahead on billing with some subcontractors if we're not where they should be. I mean, if the guy is legit 75, I mean, we're not going to complain between 75 and 80%, but if he's 40 and you guys are billing out 75 in anticipation, I think we should tighten that up a little bit at this point in the game, just because we don't want to get caught behind the 8 ball again.
Absolutely.
You're gonna keep paying for the price of some others. Unfortunately, we're gonna watch that close.
Nope. And that's
Nothing personal. Just keep it a little, tighter. That's all we're asking. We understand you got to get a little money up front for certain items, but not too far off. We don't want to front load it. We don't want to front load too much.
Yeah, there is a good amount of money in there as well for stored materials. We're trying to get our hands on anything and everything we can in this crazy time. So
yeah, understandable, certainly.
Hey, Paul, I've got one question. You just mentioned that you're getting some duct work in, and you had mentioned that you're getting some conduit installed. I guess my question is, do we have BIM coordinations? I'm just concerned. I don't want to see conduit get installed and then you end up having a conflict with the
No.
duct work. So,
Yeah, no, we've been going through the 3D modeling. We do have PDFs into the design team. Like I mentioned, we have been working with them as well on a few miscellaneous sprinkler hits with ductwork, but we do have the coordination, and it is available to.
yeah, I mean, I don't really think electrically, I don't think there's really anything
No.
big, fortunately. I think it's mostly 3/4 and maybe 1-inch pipe that he has to run. So I don't
Yep.
foresee that really being an issue, but last thing you want to do is start throwing up stuff and then have to take it down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All right.
Anybody else have anything for Paul or Matt?
Kind of a question for Steve. Steve, we just all got that same indoor air quality report, or did you have a chance to look at that, Steve? This is kind of more your thing. You're better equipped to review and analyze that. What do you think? Have you had a chance?
Yeah, I looked at it. I did have some questions on it. You want me to talk about them now?
Yeah.
Brian, is
Yep.
it okay?
Yeah, that's what falls under Colliers/PAC update, I guess.
So it mentions a schedule of inspections and maintenance, so we'd be expecting something there incorporated into the schedule. Who is your construction IAQ rep that's going to be confirming that we're in compliance and everything is implemented accordingly? And towards the end of the project, have we chosen which way of building compliance we're going to choose as far as either doing the flush out pre-occupancy, post-occupancy, or doing an actual air test once the new building's turned over?
So multiple questions there, but the rep would be the super on site. I can't exactly call him the inspector, but the rep will be the superintendent on site, which is Kyle. He'll be tracking compliance through Procore. So we'll set up a form kind of like our safety form. So the subcontractor will fill out the form and it'll upload to Procore, and he'll be the compliance. I guess we can call him a rep, but he'll be reviewing and tracking it through Procore, so everyone will have access to those forms. Regarding the inspector, I would assume it'd be the design team or Colliers at this point, just because it would also ultimately be the acceptance of one of them. Would you agree there?
Yeah, that should be coming from the design team for sure.
And then building compliance, I don't know if we've discussed anything like that, but we can absolutely get the ball rolling. Matt, I don't know if you have any input, or Rocco, on that.
No, not at this moment, but I'll make a note of it, and we can follow up with the group.
Maybe we can ask Steve, why don't you outline what your expectations and what you expect to see?
Well, I mean, you're given three choices, and somebody's got to make the decision which choice we're going with as far as the building flush out. I mean, there are parameters from the engineer of how to achieve that based on the regulations. And the three options are you flush it out pre-occupancy, you flush it out post-occupancy, or you do an air test baseline, and then you test it after all the systems have been tested and commissioned.
Sure.
And granted, it kind of corresponds with your FF&E too, and all the finished materials being in place. So, and we're turning the corner here, so got to kind of figure out and incorporate into the schedule what we're going to be doing, because you do have to have those several days of flush out if we choose to do it pre-occupancy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Those are good points, Steve. And I know that I believe this IAQ plan is in the hands of Colliers and the design team for review.
Yeah, as
Input
well as
from-
I was going to bring up our commissioning agent, BVH, has this under review as well and would likely be included in, any inspections that are required.
Right. I just,
Guidance to the team.
before it becomes an issue, I think it's, best to get on board and make sure that we, Colliers as well as PAC reviews the required specifications that are there so that they're met, because I can, Steve feels strongly about this, and it's part of the specs along with it. So so it's owned. So we want to make sure that we flush this out before it becomes an issue,
No comment.
at the end of the job.
And it is a
Sorry, Steve.
submittal, so the town and the architect have to approve it also, so he can implement it. And obviously, we're into the inside of the building all sealed up, so sooner the better.
Understood.
Yeah, so Matt, if you can, for our next meeting, try and have some answers to those questions from Steve as to who's the point person on this IAQ plan and how it's going to be implemented and who's the decision maker. So
Absolutely.
we would appreciate it. Thank you.
And I just had a question about the schedule and the slippage. I know early on, due to some site work and stuff, that we had some slippage in the schedule. I think that's back then. Is there any intention to recover that, or have any of these days been approved through the change order process or any of the change orders that affected it that would have caused? I think what are we now? We're kind of over 30 days from the original baseline.
It's about 4 weeks at this point from the baseline schedule. There have not been any official approvals of days through change orders. There have been 2 notice of delays with the intent that, as Paul had mentioned, they are working to recover that. There's been other things that have hindered any improvement on that since then. But once we get through those items, hopefully there's still an ability to pull in. Paul did mention a couple areas where they're ahead, and hopefully there's a few more as we get through the weeds on the other items. So I also mentioned at the beginning of the schedule update that Paul, myself, and Ken Romeo from Colliers as well, who's our construction rep, we're going to be meeting just after the new year to dig into the schedule a little bit deeper. And I think that's the opportunity for us to, figure out where we are truly, if there what and if there are any opportunities to take advantage of. So we should have a more specific, update on that respect next meeting.
And I know a schedule is a schedule, and we have, agreed upon substantial completion date. This question's for John, as far as, unlike a school where you obviously have to open at a certain time, is the town have anything pertinent, or is it absolutely necessary for the senior center to open in May? Is it detrimental if it didn't, or we start slipping more and more into it? Obviously, just like a school, you have to be open. You have to turn on the building in July or August before the school opens would be ideal. But in this case with the town, this senior center, is there anything that would absolutely need it to open at a certain time?
No, there's no specific time. I think it's just more as the construction moves along and we get like a realistic opening date. I think it's more, we're not shooting for a May 15th opening, as opposed to if we get in the end of March and we say we're going to have this thing ready by July, then we can start planning things, post July 1st or whatever. So it's no drop dead date like the the seniors are going to be coming in on June 1st to expect to play bingo and eat lunch and all that. So, but at some point in time, looking from the construction team to say, yeah, this is when I think it's going to be good time to open it, and then the planning can begin.
Okay.
Okay, well, while we're still on the Colliers here, we'll go to change orders. So Matt, obviously, Steve is the only PBC member on here that's not on our subcommittee. So I don't know if you want to give him just a brief overview of that change order that we have for approval tonight.
Yeah, sure. Change order 4 that I included in the packet is for the existing roof drain lateral. We talked about this a while back. That was the existing roof drain that was found to be active and run out to an existing manhole out roughly in the middle of the new addition. And once that was found to be active, we needed to find a new way to, or a way to connect it to the new drainage system. We went through a couple of iterations of trying to find the most efficient and cost-effective approach to make that connection. And ultimately, PAC had put together some pricing for an option that essentially utilized the existing manhole location and the end of the existing roof drain pipe and connect in at that point and run new piping out underneath the slab to the drainage system closest to the library. And that allowed the project to continue moving along. Ultimately, the work was done in basically 2 stints, a big portion right off the bat, and then the final connection and tie-in once the remainder of the drainage system was installed and operating. And that just completed. So this change order was, sorry, let me back up. At that point, a CCD was issued with a time and material not to exceed value of $42,032. And now that the work is complete, we've got the revised change request up for review and action. The total is $35,919.16. So as you can see, it ended up being, certainly beneficial and saved the town some money to go down the time and material route with daily tickets. Hopefully that gave a good enough of a synopsis of what happened. If anyone has any questions, let me know.
Steve, do you have any questions on this PCO number 4?
No, I got the gist of it, and I think the big thing was time and materials, so it is what it is.
Okay, so if there's no further questions on this PCO, then I will entertain a motion for to approve this change request.
So moved.
I have a motion by Sal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Steve. Any discussion? Discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. I'll is that somebody? No? Okay. I will do a roll call vote here. Yay or nay? Sal?
Yay.
Tom?
Yay.
And Steve?
Yay.
All right. With that, PCO number 4 is approved in the amount of $35,919.16. Next up on our agenda is discussion with our architect. Rocco, do you have anything to add to the discussion?
Don't have too much to add. The project seems to be moving along. The design team and the construction team are working together to resolve the issues as they come up. I have pictures from Friday, if anybody wants to see those. We can do a little slideshow, but other than the schedule that Paul had, I think they're working. PAC is working well, and they are where Paul says they are.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Rocco? Doesn't look like it. Well done, Rocco.
That was easy.
All right.
Rocco, is you're all set with the kitchen?
What do you mean?
Well, you had that meeting scheduled for Friday, then.
Yeah. So,
the gas valve, is that what it's for?
well, no, there was some question as to the need for a Type 1 hood with an Ansel system at some point. So the fire marshal and the building official are fine with keeping the use of the center as it was, and thereby saving the project some money and using the existing hood and fan system that's there. So we got written confirmation of that this week.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody got anything for Rocco? No? All right. Next item, John, do we have any correspondence or communications? I didn't see anything in our
No,
packet.
nothing.
All right. And bill payments. So way back in our packet after that change order is our bill payment recommendations. We've got 5 people to pay here. So whoever wants to take the lead on that.
Sure,
Go for it.
I'll take it. I'll make a motion to approve Collier's invoice number 7638 in the amount of $9,275.
Second.
A motion made and a second. Any discussion? Discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please. Steve,
Yay.
Sal,
Yay.
and Tom.
Yay.
All right. Invoice approved for Collier's. Next one, Sal.
Invoice from Quisenberry Arcari Malik, invoice number 13050, $9,621.54.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tom. Any discussion? Discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please. Steve,
Yay.
Sal,
Yay.
and Tom.
Yay.
You right there, John? You're...
I was in the dark for a while. I had to get some motion going.
All right.
You ready for the next 3? I'll just put them in order.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll lump them all together. Yep.
Okay, so this is
Read
for
them individually. Yeah. I don't know if you totaled them up or not.
No, I didn't. I'll just read them off individually, and then we'll go for one lump.
Okay.
Of approval. Independent material testing, 3 invoices. Number 4711-A in the amount of $4,180.25. Invoice number 4711D in the amount of $2,057.36. And invoice 4711-E in the amount of $1,049.
Okay, and that totals $7,286.61. Motion made. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Second by Mr. Bodwin. Any discussion? Discussion?
Yeah, quick question for you. Is that, I forgot to look at the line item. Is this, how are we doing on our budget line item for testing? Is that's coming out of the town directly, correct? That's under our cost, our contract?
That's correct.
I
Yep.
forgot to look at that tonight against the budget. I looked at the individual testing. They seem to be fine, but how are we doing on
Sure.
budget?
We're doing well. We've got, let's see, I'm just bringing it up right now. We've got $9K unpaid after these, so not including these. $9K beyond that had been put together on a initial purchase order for them. And we've got quite a bit beyond that on the line item to cover any additional that's needed beyond the 9K. So we're in good shape.
How much money did we set aside for this whole lump sum?
41.2.
And how much have we used? This plus 9,100?
We've, including these, we've billed 16,000 of that.
Including these were 16 out of 40, roughly 41. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And any further discussion? All right, hearing none. Roll call vote, please. Steve,
Yay.
Sal,
Yay.
and Tom. You're muted there, Tom. But reading your lips, that was a yay.
Yay.
All right. Go ahead, Sal. Next one, please.
In BVH Integrated Services invoice number 0219183.00-6. More invoice numbers than a dollar amount. $2,870.
I have a
Second.
motion made and a second by Tom. Any discussion on this one? Discussion?
They have any, do you have any findings? Are they, obviously they've been, probably doing some type of report or anything.
Yeah, they've been putting together field reports during their site visits. We've also got BVH doing some of the envelope testing. They're the envelope commissioning agent, as well as doing some of the envelope testing. And they've been out there doing that as well. They've brought forward a couple minor issues that PAC has resolved. And the testing has been coming back good and passing the test. So we're in good shape.
Do you track that, Matt, and then close it out as things are resolved, completed?
BVH has their own tracking system that they do track all of the issues on. They have an issues log under their own
Like a port?
portal. It's called Blue Rhythm that we're all on. So that's how they've been tracking it.
Okay.
Anything else, Steve?
No.
And any further discussion on this? All right, hearing none. Roll call vote, please. Steve,
Yay.
Sal,
Yay.
and Tom.
Yay.
Invoice approved. And last one, Sal.
PAC Group invoice number 200-1706 in the amount of $1,003,008.90.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tom. Any discussion on this?
Rocco, have you guys signed off on this? The copy we have doesn't have your sign off. You okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we discussed it, so. You want me to take care of that tomorrow?
For the files, yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any discussion on this pay rec from PAC? And any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please. Steve,
Yay.
Sal,
Yay.
and Tom.
Yay.
All right, invoice approved. And I think that is it. Anybody else? Anything? John, we're good? All right,
Yes, I think so.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Tom. Do I have a second by Sal? Jumps on that. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Have a good evening, everyone. Take
And
care.
Merry
We'll see-
Christmas, by the way, to
Yes,
everyone.
happy holidays.
Yeah. And to all
Thank
of you.
Happy holidays.
Take care.
I don't know, thanks.